This week in Jamaica Now, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says sorry after controversial comment he made in the debate over the sexual harassment bill.
I ask for the public's forgiveness.
Petrojam Scandal reignited. The Integrity Commission cites some of the players for criminal prosecution. The former energy minister is among them. But is there a future for him in the Holness cabinet? The Prime Minister says he still believes in second chances.
The same thing I've said then would be the same thing I would say now.
St. Anne councillors recommend the resignation of embattled St. Anne's Bay Mayor Michael Belnavis. Mentally ill St. Elizabeth farmer granted bail after 25 years in jail for smashing the window of a police car. Soldier wounded in August town operation, 2 illegal high-powered weapons found. And Superintendent Leon Clunis succumbs after being shot in Spanish Town operation. I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. Amid intense public backlash, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has said sorry for this comment he made in Parliament more than a week ago during a debate on the sexual harassment bill.
We don't want the situation that now happens in the Me Too movement in the US, where 30 years later, you talk about I was harassed in the elevator. No, but look at Mr. Chuck. When he used to teach him, he used to make pass at me. I wouldn't even remember.
Days later, Chuck said he was sorry about his insensitive comment and asked for forgiveness.
I commit and assure everyone who has been concerned by my utterance that my conduct in committee meetings and otherwise will reflect the fact that I do not seek to diminish the importance of this issue.
The Integrity Commission has identified several prima facie criminal and administrative breaches at the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam. In a report tabled in Parliament this week, the Commission named several people who may be guilty of offences. Former Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley, former Petrojam Chairman Dr. Percival Bahadur Singh, former General Manager Floyd Grinley and Procurement Unit Head Ronique Budram Ford are among those cited. The report also establishes a link among some of the key figures in the Petrojam probe. And at a press conference this week, reporters questioned the Prime Minister about Wheatley's future as a candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party.
As it relates to whether or not Dr. Wheatley will continue as a candidate, from what I have seen, what I have observed, and my own analysis of the situation, I don't think that there would be any move at this time not to have him run as a candidate, bearing in mind that there are, situations where if, for example, there's a prosecution, then he would be held to account through that process. So I think it would be a little bit premature of me to consider any such action without more.
The Prime Minister was also questioned whether Wheatley could be a part of a future cabinet.
On December 10, 2018, you had given a press conference and you had been asked by my colleague Andrea Chisholm about the possibility of Dr. Wheatley returning to your cabinet. At the time, you clearly signaled that that was a possibility. You said, I'm a believer in second chances, in reforming, in redemption. You said, I paid close attention to public opinion. I don't think the public is of a mood or a mind in that regard yet. Would you tell the country at this time if this will, in fact, now affect your decision if you were to win re-election?
It's a very difficult question to answer because there is no proposition for an appointment before us now. If you are saying from a speculative point of view, again, it's very difficult to speculate. My answer then, Dion, would seem to be an excellent answer for your question today. In other words, the same thing I've said then would be the same thing I would say now.
Meanwhile, St. Anne South East MP Lisa Hanna has escaped criminal charges but has been slammed for nepotism and cronyism in the award of millions of dollars in contracts in St. Anne. This follows a ruling by the Director of Public Prosecutions. Richard Lake, the husband of the St. Anne South East MP, might however be at risk of being charged. The ruling has been with the Integrity Commission since July 2019 but has not been made public. The Contractor General had conducted an investigation into allegations of impropriety and corruption at Hanna's constituency office and the award of contracts by the St. Anne Municipal Corporation. In November 2017, then Contractor General Dirk Harrison asked the DPP to consider whether conflict of interest was involved in Hanna's recommendation of contracts to 12 people linked to the PNP. Hanna's husband, Richard Lake, is accused of asking a constituency executive to lie to the Contractor General during the probe. Jamaica Labour Party JLP councillors in the St. Ann Municipal Corporation have recommended that the embattled St. Anne's Bay Mayor Michael Belnavis resign his post. Belnavis has been under intense scrutiny since a Sunday Gleaner investigation uncovered that he was a director of a company that constructed a structure on government lands in Ocho Rios, St. Anne, without the required authorization of the corporation he leads. Belnavis has not commented public on the Sunday Gleaner story, and in a statement on Friday, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie said the St. Anne councillors did not in any way accuse him of impropriety. The mayor, who is also the chairman of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, had previously been under pressure for the erection of an electrical port at the council to charge his personal Porsche motorcar. According to McKenzie, it was the unanimous conclusion that it was in the best interest of the corporation to have the mayor step aside while the matters are investigated. A mentally ill St. Elizabeth farmer who had been behind bars for 25 years has been granted bail in the sum of $10,000. Abraham Lawrence was granted bail on Friday when he appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court. In 1994, Lawrence, who was 24 years old at the time, was arrested and charged after he reportedly smashed the window of a police service vehicle during a dispute with men in his community of Huntley Castle near Pisgah in St. Elizabeth. In court on Friday, his attorney, Eugene Morgan, argued before presiding judge Anne-Marie Granger that considering the length of time his client has spent in custody and the fact that family members are willing to take care of him, Lawrence should be offered bail. In agreement, Granger granted bail and released Lawrence to the custody of his brother. The court has also ordered that Lawrence be taken to a psychiatrist next Thursday and brought before the Santa Cruz Parish Court the following day. A Jamaica Defense Force soldier is now in critical condition after being wounded during a shootout with gunmen in the African Gardens community of Augusttown, St. Andrew on Thursday night. A JDF team was on an operation in the community when they were fired on by a group of gunmen in Bedwood Crescent. The soldiers returned the fire. The injured soldier was rushed to the University Hospital of the West Indies, where he underwent emergency surgical operation. A man later turned up at the hospital with gunshot wounds to both legs.
From them shot the guy, them start fire wildly up in the ear. Like them are mad. Me don't know what caused that. And they put the soldier in the van and go with him first. I left the guy over there with his shot. I bleed out.
Earlier, the security forces recovered one AR-15A2 rifle and one shotgun, a magazine, and 15 live rounds in Augusttown. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notifications, and subscribe today. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, reactions from cops following the shock passing of Superintendent Leon Clunis on the day he was due to be discharged from hospital more than 2 weeks after being shot in Horizon Park, St. Catherine.
I have a good relationship from there. We kept in touch with each other throughout about 29 years of service. February coming with 30 years of service to the organization. Leon was one of those persons who would lead from the front. And we know a lot about him. We see him as a warrior. Initially when he got shot, we feared the worst for the first couple of days, but we just never expected this. He was scheduled to release today with a long conversation. This morning he called me twice, and I was taking some stuff to him. And then because of the rain, I decided to just turn back and told him when he gets home I'll be there. And this just happened. So it was a boy that we have. Can't be killed.
We do not find any comfort in the fact that the alleged culprit died, because that is of no comfort to us. I think what we find comfort to us is the result of the Jamaican people to stand with us, to extend their condolences, and to make a commitment that we have a responsibility to make a safer place. I mean, if our colleagues passing is not indicative of anything, let it be indicative of the fact that as a people, as a country, we cannot win if we do not support law enforcement and make the necessary investment in law enforcement.